Welcome to VibeCheck. You're listening to VibeCheck on CGSF 90.1 FM. I'm your host, Colin Rath, and today's guest, we are joined by PATS. Woo!
Yeah, what's good, man? Thank you
All
for having
right.
me. So pumped to be here.
No worries. We're glad that you were able to come through. For the listeners that don't know who you are, can you give yourself a bit of a rundown for them?
Yeah, for sure. I'll give you a little rundown. So my real name is Clint, Clint, and my artist name is Pats. And the artist name Pats comes from just honestly my last name. So my
Mm-hmm.
last name is Patrick, my real name, and it was just like a really short form. I'll give you guys a quick funny story. So my first artist name was Easy Bake, and that was back that was back in high school. I'm 28 years old, so high school for me would have been like 10 years ago. So that's when I first kind of started making music, and it was super random, man. Like it was a grade 12 tech project that my teacher let me make a mixtape for because I noticed that we had like this little studio in the back of the classroom, and I was intrigued. There was like a microphone and everything set up, and just like basic garage band. I had no idea what I was
Mm-hmm.
doing, and I just like I got some beats from popular songs that I liked, and I just wrote these cheesy ass bars. So I don't know if I could say ass on there, but but yeah, I just wrote these cheesy bars, and I ended up recording it, and I think I got a B on that project. But yeah, man, I'm from a small town of Chatham, Ontario. I lived
Mm-hmm.
there most of my life. Um, Up until I was like 18, I moved to a bigger city in London. Went to school there, got my first real job there. Um, so yeah, basically Chatham in London, and then just this past 6 months, I came out to BC for a new adventure, and
Wow.
have my sights
Only
set on
six.
bigger
You've only been here
things.
6 months?
Yeah, guy, it
Wow.
was
Oh, what? That's
yeah,
crazy. Oh my god, so
yeah.
you new to the Vancouver scene. Okay, yeah.
I'm
I wasn't
super
like,
new,
yeah.
man.
I was wondering cuz I like when you had first when I had first heard of you was cuz of Songcamp actually. Like, I had first seen the name and I went and listened through all your music while checking all the submissions. And I was like I was super like thrown off. I was like, is this some dude that's been here and I just didn't ever like
Yeah,
know like it was so yeah, so you're pretty new to the scene. Okay, wow.
yeah, the
Yeah.
community, honestly, man, like the community and joining. I'll kind of tell you like the background of how I even started getting introduced to all of you guys. It's a
Mm.
definitely somebody that you're all very familiar with. So when I came out here initially, it was just like a week adventure with my buddy, and then it turned into living with one of my friends who had an opportunity to stay out here. And I was already making music back in Ontario, and I was like researching cities that I knew had a really good music scene. So
Mm.
Vancouver was obviously top of the list. Um, but yeah, so I ended up, shacking up, and then I obviously, I needed to find a barber in town. So I went to a Boombox Barber Shop, and so
Yeah.
so Dez works there, and Dez
Mm.
knew Wavy, and then wait,
Ah.
and then yeah, so everything started connecting. I was
Yeah, it
like,
does.
yo, so this
So it
this
is
guy,
kind of.
yeah. So he told me to like reach out to Wavy because I was like looking for studios in the area, right? So I ended up reaching out to Wavy, and then I asked Wavy about studios in the area, different producers to try to find like a producer and like or a studio that kind of matched the vibe that I was trying to go with. Um, so once I was connected with Wavy, he set me up with East Boulevard Studios
Mm-hmm. Very good
and
studio. Yeah.
and Jub. Just an unbelievable experience for me, man, because I never really been in a professional studio setting like that
Mm-hmm.
before. Like all my projects up to this one that we record at East Boulevard have just been like in my bedroom, in my basement,
Yeah.
So yeah, like that's kind of how everything started. And at East Boulevard, we've got like a 7-track EP that we recorded, produced by Big Germ. It's a dude who's worked with Mac Miller a lot and different artists out of I think PA. But yeah, man, that's kind of how
Word.
it
Yeah.
started through Wavy
That's
and
crazy.
just
Yeah.
connecting a little bit.
That's yeah. Wavy was he was literally our last guest. I'm pretty sure. Like our actual like there wasn't anyone in between. Literally last week he was our guest as well. So that's crazy how the dots have
Yeah,
just been connected like that. That's crazy.
Wavy's a
Yeah,
G, man.
for
He's
sure. Yeah.
so down to earth and just like,
Mm-hmm.
and so just so for indie artists and kind of
Yeah.
like supporting that movement, man. That's what I'm trying to do too.
Yeah, he was one of the from artists in the city. He was definitely one of the first like people that like everyone kind of knows Wavy. If you're an artist in the city, like I feel like everyone just knows him. So like when he first joined like the our when we before it was called Sunnyside Song Camps, it was called VIBECHECK Song Camps, and he had joined like because it was through the show that we had run it.
Gotcha.
And then when he joined is when it actually started to like go up. Like we were literally getting like 4 people per thing, and then I think one time he just joined, and then he had reposted on his story, and then boom, and then everyone in the city
Yeah.
kind
So
of joined. Yeah,
when did you guys start the song camps?
we started it like last year March.
Okay.
Yeah, like right in the beginning of COVID, pretty much March April. I'm not quite sure, but it was just kind of like amongst like we had also had like what's it we had been talking about like doing this collective thing as one of actually Hallelujah, who just dropped an EP, who's also a host of the show.
Yeah.
She had like was talking about like we had to do some sort of like a capstone like school project thing. And she talked about I kind of she wanted to form a collective for the project. So we had she had teamed up with me, a few other people in we're all in this like music production program in our school, and we had just we were coming back to do a second year, and so the second year the whole goal was to set up a collective. So we had set up we called it the Sunnyside Collective. I actually don't remember how we named it and why we named it that, but we just ran with it. I think one
Very
person said it, and
approachable.
we just
Very
ran with it. We
approachable.
just ran with it. I don't think I think I remember when I first heard the name, I'm like, oh, that's so stupid, and then it just stuck. So like after hearing it a couple of times, I was like, okay, we'll stick. Now I like it a lot, so I'm like, okay, we'll just run with it.
Sure.
Um, and then we were just like noticing how like a lot of collectives in Vancouver especially do this thing where they're like, oh, we're trying to put it on for the city and all this stuff, and our goal was like, well, we're not trying to do that, we're just trying to like make music, like we're just a bunch of friends trying to make music. So like
Yeah.
what are cool ways for us to like make music with like even more people and just get to know more people in the city kind of thing. So we had set up the song camps. Like the original idea of the song camps was literally just that we set it up and anyone can join, and then whoever comes and would just make music. So we had started our very first song camp had a total of 4 people, big numbers, yeah. And from
That's so pure
yeah,
though, man. You know what
yeah,
I mean? It's
yeah,
just like the beginning of something great. Like you never know
exactly,
until you try something. And it's
yeah,
so cool that you guys all met at school as well. Like that's one thing that I don't have is that formal music background with the education piece. But I think
yeah,
being able to network is such a key
and that
component to
yeah.
that.
And yeah, this was like one of our big ways of like just being able to network like outside of our friend group, because that's all we kind of really knew. Like we were like fans of other artists in the city, but other than that, we didn't really like. We knew that there was like a larger scene of people that we just had like never heard of kind of thing. So we're like, let's do this. And then we got and then right away we had the Burnaby Neighborhood House reach out to us and was like, yo, we'll give you some money for prizes and all that stuff, because they really liked the concept and because it was like Burnaby ran, so all that stuff. And then our last song camp had 74 people, so quite a jump.
Yeah, what's the
Um,
percentage of growth there? That's
yeah,
amazing.
it's pretty big. Yeah,
So it's only
74
been
people,
around for a
and
year.
yeah, only been around for about a year. We've done 8, so yeah, we used to do them like every month, and then we just couldn't handle it, so we started to divide them up. So like our next one's not till August now, because we're setting up like we're trying to figure out like what's the deal with other sponsors and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully things like that happen. Was it like but like this
Yeah.
this last song camp was like incredible to hear, like the diversity in music kind of thing. Like I just remember I remember you and Pat's song was one of the first songs that we played, and I remember
Epic.
everyone was just like you just like that's the thing with the song camps is a little bit it's cool, but it's also intimidating at the same time because you guys just came in full force. You had already planned to release it, had the artwork mixed and mastered,
Yeah.
everything. Like you just really you went above and beyond than everyone else, and it was crazy to hear, and it was some incredible, yeah, like what's the word, what's like that's been stuck in my head since
Yeah.
that's been stuck in
No,
my
it
head
really
since the
came
song camp, yeah, like
it really came out hot, man. Like that was such a cool a cool opportunity for me, like just being so fresh to the scene. It was like collaborations, like
Mm-hmm.
that's what you want to do. You want to find like-minded artists, or people that are in a similar genre, to work with and kind of just bring it up. But yeah, Raptor and I got linked up. One of our guys dropped out, the producer, and we're like, shit, like we both don't make beats, and we were just trying to feel out the vibe of the track that we wanted. So we wanted something like old school and kind of grimy. So yeah, that hook that I made for that
Mm-hmm.
song, like it just kind of came to mind because I was thinking while I was writing how difficult it is to be heard as an indie artist, and doing backflips for Spotify placements,
Yeah.
all that stuff is so relatable. I find, like you can
Mm-hmm.
submit a song that you truly believe in, and like the production is there and everything is right, and still not get that approval. Like you get all this awesome feedback, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
like, why aren't you accepting my song? And yeah, the whole premise of that track was really just to bring that to light, that awareness of, it's a grind sometimes.
Yeah, I could tell everyone in everyone was listening to it, everyone could 100% relate to it. Like even our judges were like talking about that a lot on how they could relate to it a lot.
Yeah, I had a
And
lot of
yeah.
people from the group like reach out and DM me and like saying the track was fire and stuff, and that felt
Mm-hmm.
really good.
Well, I'm
Because
glad
I'm
that's
also
happening. Yeah, that's a
that
big thing that we want happening. So yeah.
yeah, no, for sure, man. Like just setting up future opportunities to work with people too, right? Like as soon as they hear
Mm-hmm.
what you're offering, you can kind of mesh that way.
That's
Dope.
definitely the goal of the camps kind of thing, and especially like your group, you and Raptor, like had never met, and the fact like is always the most incredible part to watch is when people that have never met like just come together and in the span of like 3 days make like you and Raptor like that song sounded like
We
you guys
got
have
to
been
work.
like you sound like you've been working on a song for like that song was like amazing quality, and it sounded like you had made that song and like you spent months writing and everything like that for the song. The fact you did it in 3 days, and I
Yeah,
was making this joke. I was like, oh, Raptor and Pats, they sound like they've been like best friends their entire life. The way they just like went like they just were like let's go, let's go, let's go. Like it
yeah,
was it was
yeah.
incredible
We
to
have
watch.
a
Yeah.
we have a really solid relationship now, man. Like it's
Word.
super rewarding that way. He's got a show coming up, I believe, in the next month or so, and I'm gonna go be his hype man and
Yeah,
support him. So I'm really
that's
looking
sick.
forward to that. And oh, quick story about that song. What's the word too?
Yeah, that's what we're waiting
Um,
for.
yeah. So like, I had COVID during that time. Like I
What?
literally just I got diagnosed with COVID like a day before the song camp group
No
announcement.
way.
So I
Oh
was
my
like
god.
writing and recording this song while I was like struggling to breathe. I was like
That's
so worried.
oh
I was
y'all should
so
have you
worried.
should have bro, you should have how
I
many
might have got
so
first
your
if I
group
said that.
first lost hold on. Your group first lost their producer and you had COVID while writing the song. You had every disadvantage thrown at you and
Yeah,
oh
dude.
my we should have given you the first place. Let's go. Like you had every
Oh
disadvantage.
man.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah. So
That's
you know what?
crazy.
I didn't want to. Honestly, I'm not the type of dude to come out and make excuses for shit. So
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
definitely didn't.
true.
I didn't want to bring it to light because I felt like that was just wrong at the time.
Mhm.
But yeah, talking about it after, that's cool. But yeah, it definitely happened, man. My brain was mush
Yeah,
after that weekend.
that is incredible. Much huge respect for that you're able to still like pull
Yeah.
through it. Yeah, no, the 100%. Yeah, like the whole no excuses thing. And you didn't need excuses. You still pulled through. Like you legitimately like that was
I was just
incredible.
worried about
Yeah.
my voice, man, because like I
Mhm.
was like coughing and shit and had all that going on. So I did some vocal warm
Yeah.
ups for my takes, and
Mhm.
yeah, it was good. But I was so humbled, man, to get third place in that contest. Like just being new to town, nobody knowing me, and just giving me a chance. Like
Mhm.
that meant
Yeah.
the world to me. So
Third place overall from the judges and second place in the fan voting. Like people really liked your song. Like it was definitely shown.
yeah, the
Um
Pats Music fam comes through big
yeah,
time, man.
exactly.
I have
Yeah.
a tremendous group of supporters. It's not huge yet. We're definitely growing every day.
Mhm.
But when I ask people to come through for me, they're definitely always there.
Yeah.
So I
That's
really
that's the
appreciate
real
that.
stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. How was it? when you had first gotten COVID and recording, like I know COVID is such like a new thing. Like it's not that it's a new thing, but like I've
Having
you're
it
like
is weird, isn't
yeah,
it?
like I the first person I had a friend of mine get COVID, and I remember like I had the scary part was that I had hanged out with her the day before that she had like
Of
gotten it, and I was
course.
like, okay, obviously. And then I get like a call the next day being like, I just got, and then it was a whole thing of like I'm just at home like sitting in my bedroom like because I'm like I'm not trying to spread it to my parents or anything like that. And then I'm getting like updates from her, and she's like, yeah, I can't taste anything anymore. I'm like it's a little bit scary. Like, what was your like
My
first
experience.
thoughts? Yeah, like what is your experience? I know it's
Yeah,
not that
yeah, we
music
gotta.
related, but I just want to know.
Yeah.
Like, it's yeah.
Oh no, that's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, we made a documentary day one, day two. No, I'm kidding, but
Oh.
no, but it was funny because like I live with my girlfriend here and her
Mhm.
brother's here. So my
Mhm.
girlfriend and I both ended up testing positive, but
Yeah.
her brother didn't, and we all are in this apartment. It's like a one bedroom apartment right now, so it's like how the
Okay.
is that even possible?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I woke up one day with a headache, and it was just out of the blue, and I didn't think anything of it really that day. But then I woke up the next day, and I was just like, it felt like a night, like so much congestion in my head. So went and got the I think like the saliva test or whatever they offer now, which is way
Mhm.
better than the nose thing, by the way.
Yeah, I
Like
was about to.
I I've had both. I've had both.
Okay. Good to
But
know.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then I woke up at like it was the next day at like 5 in the morning, and I see this text like, "Oh, you're positive for COVID. Isolate now." It's so alarming too. Like you feel like there's an earthquake or something. So
Mhm.
I wasn't getting back to bed, but I would
Yeah.
say my overall experience is that it was super annoying versus anything because of the sense of smell and taste. Like I was picking up coffee grinds and orange peels and stuff trying to get my sense of smell back, and it's been like 2 months or like a month and a half, and it still isn't fully back. So that's what I would say
Ooh,
is
that's
the most annoying
scary.
part.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
don't yeah, that stuff is not
Don't get
not
it
yeah.
if you can help it, my friend. Don't get it.
Oh yeah, obviously I've been pretty lucky. I don't have was it any school this semester since January. I've had no
Yeah.
school. I go back to school next week though, so I'm gonna be back in an area
In
where I
class?
can yeah, I'll be back in like physically in class next week, but I've been lucky enough to not have class since like the beginning of this year, so I've just been able to kind of avoid it. Haven't been I only like every time I go out I just go out by myself for a walk. Don't really like meet up with
Yeah.
friends or anything like that just to be 100% sure. Just
Well, I
cuz
was
yeah.
told, yeah, I was told today that you can actually schedule your vaccine now, like anybody can.
Yeah, I think
If you
yeah, I
see.
think I had just I had yeah, I had like marked the date and everything. Like I got a nice reminder with calendars this morning being like you can go schedule it now, and I was super hyped.
It's
I
pretty
don't know
cool.
when they're gonna
BC
roll
is
it
like
out though,
ahead.
but yeah. Yeah.
BC is really ahead when it comes to that stuff. Like being from
Mhm.
Ontario, I don't think like people my age can get vaccinated yet
Mhm.
or even schedule it.
Yeah.
So,
It's weird though with the like this is just to like register to get it though, and I was talking about that with my friends. It's a little bit tough in Canada because they don't make the vaccines here, so like we have to like ship it in compared to like in America where they actually make it there so that you can like
yeah, they have a
they're rolling
huge
out a lot.
surplus.
Yeah, they're able to roll it out faster. So that's why there's been like a huge spike here recently, and it's a little bit worrisome. So I've definitely trying my best to avoid it. I'm pretty
Yeah.
like over it. I'm not like over the top about it, and sometimes I'm not the best at it. Like I won't. I'll do things that I like without paying attention that I shouldn't be doing. Like yesterday on the bus, I started like rubbing my eye without realizing it. That's the
That's
worst.
the worst.
Yeah, that's the worst.
That's the
I
worst.
caught myself doing that, and I was like, oh my god, I'm dead. I'm like, this is how I get it. Like the one time that I caught
Yeah.
myself, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know why I
I'm
wasn't thinking
notorious
that.
for
Yeah,
that too, man. Like I rub
yeah,
my eyes all the time without knowing it,
mm-hmm,
just subconsciously. And
yeah,
I really had to buckle down, and I still ended up getting it though. Whatever,
yeah.
it's
It's
almost
just
like this is
yeah.
terrible to say, but it's almost like a relief that I got it, and I feel like I didn't pass it to like anyone because I isolated right away. I did what I had to do,
Mm,
so
yeah.
it's kind of almost a relief just to get it out of the
Sure.
way,
Yeah,
if that makes
it's a
sense.
positive way to look at it. Yeah, that's what you can
Right?
see.
I'm
Yeah.
trying
Mm-hmm.
to look at
Yeah.
it positively. Yeah.
Yeah. True. Yeah. A lot of yeah. It's good that you're able to like figure it out fast and not be a part of the spreading problem of it. Yeah. And the thing, yeah, it is definitely really hard to like track it, like trying to figure out like where you got it from or anything like that. Like, do you have any idea where you
Yeah.
got it from, or?
Hell no, man. No
Exactly.
way.
Yeah. It's
Like we
just
had to do that contact trace. Like they call you to do the contact tracing, and it's like, tell me about your last 2 weeks. And I'm sitting there with a pen and paper, like really struggling, trying to figure out
yeah.
where I was, right? But I would say to tie it back into the music, it's just unfortunate, like really
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate because, well, for multiple reasons, like, live shows, which are starting to pick up again, I think, but just
Mm-hmm.
even like meeting in person for things feels
Weird.
wrong at
Yeah.
times. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
getting a group together in the studio. It's like those things that are like, I feel like the core, like the roots of
Of
making music
music.
are
Yeah.
kind of tarnished, right?
Yeah, I talk about it a lot. I talk about like some of my best music is from collaborations, and my best music is like when there's like a group of us together, and we're like in a studio just writing, and just making, and it's like that. The when that just all kind of completely disappeared, I was definitely that took a big toll on me. I just remember like as soon as COVID had hit, I was super like, come on, like I was so like especially that summer too. Like I was super hyped. Like we had like the collective, we had planned our first show, everything like that, and that all just like went gone, like out of the water completely. And it was like, yeah, like things like especially like I noticed for artists, the worst part about it was the shows thing, right? Because like some of these artists, especially like smaller artists, the way they pay their bills is like shows, and like the fact that that's just gone
Yeah,
is like
it's a huge revenue
tremendous.
stream.
Yeah, like it's definitely like it was definitely tough to see, and it was even worse, especially in Vancouver. I noticed like a lot of artists that I followed, like they all kind of like some of them are like still gone, like they just like disappeared. I don't know what's like happened to them because as soon as COVID,
Really?
like they were just waiting for COVID to go away so they can come back and do some like like because they want to be able to announce an album and do shows for the album and all kinds of stuff like that. So they're just waiting now. So they're
You
just
can't
yeah,
disappear.
exactly. But they're just like gone off social media, everything. Like they're just not making music, or I don't know what it is, but it's like yeah. It's also like
It's
yeah,
sad,
yeah.
man. It's sad, but like I think also too, it's opened up a huge opportunity. I would say without COVID, man, I might not have ever got back into music. Like straight up. Like when
Mm-hmm.
everything started going down. Well, to be honest, so I've been doing this for a year. Like 4 days
Oh
ago was
yeah.
a year since my first mixtape that I dropped on YouTube or whatever, just my amateur
Mm-hmm.
project.
Yeah.
And I would say probably in like January, December, like December 19, January 2020, is when I like really started thinking about getting into music and like getting back into music again. The person I was in a relationship with at the time kind of inspired me, and it was like listening to my old stuff. And here and then I would just show people my old stuff, and they'll be like, "Yo, like, why aren't you
Mm-hmm.
doing this now?" Like, and truthfully, I feel like I kind of just lost myself for like a good chunk like of my 20s. Like I was in a long-term relationship, and I really only cared about, you know, it felt like at times like what made other people happy and not what drove me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and as soon as I got back into the music, man, like I could see things differently. I can't explain it. It's just I could see things differently. Everything
Mm-hmm.
sounded better. Everything tasted better. It's like it was like this big part of me that was missing. Um, that was like you know, within my roots that just had to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, man. So that's kind of yeah. So like
Yeah.
a year now, and
A year now
yeah,
you've been going crazy.
without
Wow.
COVID, and like just being locked down, and because I've just like I would
Mm-hmm.
sit in my basement and just write and write and write because there's nothing else to do anyway. So
Yeah. Same.
I didn't feel like pressure to like go party or like keep up with societal norms and like do things like
Mm-hmm.
that. I had more time to really find myself. So in a way, it's kind of like thank you COVID, but in a way, it's like f you COVID too. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely that's interesting to hear because one of the things that like I noticed at least in myself when COVID first hit, I was like running out of ideas to write about, like because most of like everything was like everything I always wrote about was like from experiences and stuff like that.
yeah,
And it could just be that like I I don't quite know, but like it's just yeah, like I just noticed that like there was a huge struggle on like the writing side of stuff. Um,
like when COVID
so
did, like when you
like
got
when COVID
into
hit,
COVID.
yeah, because I was so like for some like my best work is when I was like out with friend, I would go out with friends, breathe some fresh air, and then come home, and then like the oxygen in my brain helps me like write better, right? So the fact that I was just like inside like for like months on months just doing nothing was like,
And how
wow.
did you overcome that? Because your recent song there, I think it's called "Take Me Away."
Yeah.
That was lit, my guy. I
Thank
love
you.
that. I love
Yeah.
that vibe, like wholeheartedly. It's so good. It gets me
Mm.
turned up,
Thank you
especially when
so much. Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but when I don't know if it's like the just like the rhythm picks up and like the bass starts hitting and it's like that drop almost. You know what I mean? That part.
Yeah. Yeah, that
I
that
sent it
song
to you. It
was
makes me want to
actually
rave.
yeah, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I think that song was actually from the first ever song camp we had done. Like we had done the song camp just so that we had like that was my favorite part about when quarantine first hit and when we started doing the song camps was that song camps you're kind of like forced to work with other people so that at least the other people were when I had first got put up with Lisa, actually the feature on the song, and she was like very good on like, you got this, Colin. I'm like, come on, like we can, like, like I know you're sad and all that about like just being inside, but like you're really good at making music. Like let's get to it. And then we had that song originally was like an R&B song. Like the beat was like super R&B. I'm tempted to release the original version. Like I was saying that I might
Why
release
not?
like a yeah. Like as like
Yeah.
a deluxe version or something like that, like featuring like different versions of it that we had, because that song went through so many versions. This yeah, like there was a yeah, it was like a super R&B song, and then we had just like stopped working on it after the song came out. I was like, oh, this song is too good to just like leave it. So I was like, and so I spent like weeks on weeks like just doing like crazy sound design to like put that song together. And I was like, I don't know why my mind was like, I'm gonna turn it into this like almost like a EDM kind of song, EDM pop, I guess you can call it, song.
Yeah.
And
Genres are a
yeah,
funny thing. What
genres are a
what
funny
I'm
thing.
what
Yeah.
I'm what I'm learning these days, man, is
Yeah.
there's like a million genres, and it's like if you don't get it 100%
Yeah.
right, it's like the world is ending.
Yeah,
But yeah,
especially
man, I
yeah
really loved it.
when you playlist, that's what I've noticed too. Because I was talking about that with like with a few of my friends the other day. Like when you submit songs to like playlists on Spotify, if you don't get the genre right, like you won't get on the playlist. But sometimes I don't ever know what the genre is. Like it's a little bit tricky. I don't know if it's the same with you, but
It
yeah,
is.
it's definitely. I feel like it's the same for every artist because you don't exactly quite know which box you fit under. Because like no one really wants to say that their song is like fit in their box, especially if they know it's like super unique kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
yeah.
So like for example, and I'll tell you guys straight up, like I use Submit Hub for a lot of my like promotion and getting
Mm-hmm.
on blogs and stuff. And when I submitted for Doubt Me, I had one of my lowest approval ratings out of any song. And it was just like, it was so baffling and deflating
Weird.
because the song fits, I thought, like perfectly under a rap or like an old school hip
Mm-hmm.
hop. So when
Yeah,
I
that's
put
what I
that
think too.
filter in
Yeah.
and I get these genre matches, like these 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, and knowing like the production of the song and the feedback that I've got from it locally, it's just how is my approval rating so low when the stars are aligning elsewhere. So it's the genre thing is tricky. I feel like even if you knock it out of the park with the match, sometimes it just doesn't go your way. But
Mm-hmm.
like you just got to keep going and trust the process, or like tweak things or use a different platform. Like I was thinking
Yeah.
about using sound campaigns. I don't know if you've heard of that
Mm.
one before.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it a few times. I haven't
It's a
really
little
like dug into it though, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a little pricier, but they basically set up a
Mm-hmm.
campaign versus just like picking the curators. They set up a campaign for you and they distribute for you. And the approval ratings
Mm-hmm.
and stuff are supposed to be a bit better because they listen to your song and curate it more
Mm.
accurately, quote unquote. But it's a little
That
pricier. So
is that's
yeah,
interesting. Yeah, all the things like that, like the Submit Hub and stuff like that, like it's definitely been tough. Like it is weird having to like I feel like in Submit Hub, like to actually get any good feedback, you have to pay money, right?
yeah,
To use the premium credits, and then on top of that, it's like I've always felt weird like paying for things like getting onto like playlists and blogs. Like
agreed.
it's always it's a weird thing of like if they like the music, then they should just want to put it on, and if they don't like it, then they don't have to put it on. Kind of like it shouldn't be like this much like especially like the worst is when you like pay the money and then if they like there's no point in paying the money they're gonna say no and all kinds of right like it's legitimately like it's super weird like just doing the yeah like you were saying earlier like the backflips to get onto playlists and stuff like that like this era right now of growing as an artist is super weird and even on top of that I noticed like getting onto playlist feels like such like a short term like growth
Yeah, it's like
like
2 weeks and
yeah
then you're done. It's like, oh, thanks
exactly
for the 100 streams,
and
but like,
then
what did that really do for me? Man,
exactly
I'm
like
waste.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's like yeah, like doing all these things to, like, and it feels weird, like doing all the playlisting and the vlogs and stuff like that, because then you get like a couple of extra streams, but at the end of the day, the streams don't really mean anything until you like the whole like I find myself when I try to get onto blogs and I get onto playlists, I hope to get onto playlists and blogs where people listening to the songs, like someone that is good like networking wise will reach out kind of thing, right? Like I don't really care much for things like the streams and stuff like that. Like that stuff is like that's all extra. Like that's cool now. You get like 10,000 whatever streams. It's just like I think like the thing about getting on blogs and stuff like that all artists should hope for is like yeah like someone finding the song that could kind of help put you into the next level in your career, being like, oh, I'm so and so and I really like your song. You want to talk kind of thing, right? It's
yeah.
definitely.
No, I totally agree.
Mhm.
Like a few, even like a few of the blogs, and I'm super appreciative of
Mhm.
getting approved on those blogs. But it's like at the same time, I paid for those Submit Hub credits to even get considered.
Mhm.
So that I feel like there's a gap or something that maybe I'm not seeing that I need to be looking at as far as promotion. I think a big thing artists need to be doing that I have found some success with is mastering the advertisements on like Facebook and Instagram and YouTube,
Mhm.
um, because this way you're fully in control of how you portray yourself and bringing people in. Um, like I ran a pre-save campaign for running,
Mhm.
and I executed this really well. I kind of just showed face like, hey, my name's Pats. You're now previewing my next single run, and then it translated into like a snippet of the song, like the video, and the
Mhm.
formatting was perfect. And I ran up like I think compared to my numbers, this was a lot, but it was almost like 60 pre-saves just from
Oh yeah, that's
like the
60 is a
from the
lot.
average.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And who knows how much pre-saves really help? Like some
True.
people
I
say
think
it
they
doesn't,
only
some
help with
people say it
like
does.
I'm pretty sure they only helped with like getting onto like the Spotify curated playlist. I'm pretty sure, and that's about it. I don't really know exactly how much, but getting a lot, getting more than like one pre-save is already like a challenge these days because people don't pre-save. So 60, that's a lot. Like that's like I got like 30 for Take Me Away, and I really was like on everyone. I was on my friends.
I
I
was
was like,
one of
yo,
them.
please, yeah, yeah. I
I
was
was one of
really.
them.
I saw. Yeah, you were one of the. I think you were like one of the first five actually. Like I had made a bunch of posts, but that literally yeah, like I said, I only got like five from all my posts, and I had to go like to my. I like went to my friend's house physically. I'm like, yo, give me your phone. Like we're doing this right. Like we're doing this right now. Like no one pre-saves nowadays. I don't know what it is, but it's just yeah, and it's I
Well,
can understand why. Like it's like it as much as it's 2 clicks. Like sometimes you gotta like log in and all that stuff like that, and it doesn't really do anything, right? Like it doesn't like the person gets an email saying the song's out. That's about it, right? Like it's like
yeah.
it's not
Who's
not
checking
yeah
those
exactly.
emails?
Who's checking their emails to figure out when the new releases are out on Spotify and Apple Music? Like it doesn't really make sense. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
weird. Yeah, the
it's
pre-save thing is weird.
it's
Um,
tough, and then you got to explain to your following how it
mhm.
can help you,
When you don't
expand
quite
your
know
reach.
yourself, exactly. It's like
Yeah,
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 it's
exactly.
definitely.
It's like thanks for helping me out, and that's one thing now that I'm trying to focus on more as an artist where I'm at, because now I feel like
Mhm.
the quality of my music is increasing, and I want to be
Mhm.
able to start giving back to my fans and like people who really do support me. So that's
Mhm.
where I've started to kind of focus on the Bandcamp.
Do you?
Um, yeah, and I don't know if you use it.
I
Do you
yeah
use it?
I use Bandcamp, and I've seen your stuff that you've posted also like through Bandcamp, like you've also posted stuff on your Instagram story on like how people that
Yeah.
like what's it, it's like they what is it exactly on Bandcamp, like you can pay, it's almost like a Patreon kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like a Patreon thing. It's a
Mhm.
little different. So
Yeah.
basically, the way I separated it, and my manager helped me. To shout out to Rob. um, she helped me kind of orchestrate just how to format it with the tier, like the reward tiers and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So kind of the way I structured it was just first of all explaining what Bandcamp is, because honestly, like a lot of my friends and followers have no idea what that is. Like if it's not
Mm-hmm.
Spotify or Apple Music, people really, in generally speaking, I don't think they really know, unless you're
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
in a music like us and kind of like, you know,
Know about all the band camp. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, in that scene. So yeah, I just structured it. I wanted to make it make sense and make it look pretty, and I had different tiers. So for example, $5, like or a dollar, between $1 and $5, that contribution would get you like a exclusive preview of my next song. And then for
Mm-hmm.
$10, you would get early access to the next song plus the music video. And then
Yeah.
for like $100, and shout out to one of my homies who
Who paid $100? Yeah.
got up to that tier. I was pumped,
Yeah.
but essentially it was everything before and then plus making a custom song. And
Oh. Yeah.
I'm in the middle of making a song about being ginger,
Yeah,
and it's gonna
I had seen you post that like right before we did the interview. I just saw it on my story. I was like,
yeah,
oh, what? This is interesting. Yeah, like I was super.
yeah. Yeah, so be on the
Mm-hmm.
lookout for that. I'm trying to recruit a female vocalist for the hook,
Mm-hmm.
that has red hair, and I do know a friend of mine who has red hair. She's been on a track before. Taste is
Mm-hmm.
Teresa O'Brien. She's super talented.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, she's just going through some stuff right now, so I don't know if that's gonna happen anytime
Mm-hmm.
really soon. But yeah, I'll be posting a snippet of it, like a professionally recorded snippet, and then hopefully turning it into a full song eventually,
Into a full
because
song. Yeah.
you got to be like Team Ginger. If you're a Ginger, there's not many, so you got to
Yeah.
really like embrace that life. But
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, it's just kind of like doing little things like that to actually
Mm-hmm.
give back and give some type of value back to your supporters. I'm trying to focus on more, because it's not just about the music these days. You gotta try to do more. That's what I've
True.
learned.
Yeah. That's kind of what we come to. Yeah. No, it's cool to see that you're able to give back like that. Like that's definitely it's tough. Like it's not like you can. Doing things like I found that like when I was doing the Taking Me Away stuff, I was like looking into things like merch and stuff for the future. And I'm like that stuff that is not cheap. Like it's not. It's not like to do things like that is not that what's it and not that
It's not
what's it? It's
economically
not
friendly. It's
it's not like it's like you already make such little money and then you're gonna do things like merch and things like that. So I think this Bandcamp thing that you have set up is a very creative way to give back and still be able to get some support and get a little bit of cash on the side. So yeah,
yeah,
that's
and it's a
definitely.
cool. It's honestly, it's a cool platform, man. Like, I haven't really
Mm-hmm.
ventured into it too much. Honest. So this T-shirt that I'm wearing today is
Yeah.
like this punk rock band that, like, from where I live, London,
Mm-hmm.
Ontario. My buddy has a punk rock band, and that's how I was first introduced to Bandcamp. Like, he's like, "Yo,
Mm-hmm.
like, I have a new album out. Go check out Bandcamp." I was like, "Oh, for sure!" Like, because I'm a curious
Yeah.
person. I like to discover new things.
Mm-hmm.
And like even their app that you can get on the phone is really intuitive, and it's easy to use, and you can discover a lot of new artists on there if you look, because it's
Mm-hmm.
mostly indie stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
people,
True.
like the big major label artists don't really give a shit about Bandcamp. They've got
Mm.
everything else.
Yeah.
But yeah,
True. Yeah. Bandcamp is such a fun like I just like discovered it like last year. Definitely, it was definitely. I didn't set up my Bandcamp until like a week ago, but yeah, like it was super. It's a super interesting platform and to see. So yeah, I had first discovered it because this the music production course I'm taking in my school. We had like some a previous like the year before there was a group of students that had formed a band in that class, and then I think we had like tried to bring them on to VibeCheck and it didn't like work out, but we ended up playing their music quite a bit because they kept submitting like every time they had a new release they submitted it, but they always linked the Bandcamp stuff, and I was like looking into it, and it was a super cool platform.
yeah,
uh Also like the Bandcamp Fridays or what was the one, yeah,
yeah.
like things like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Mark your calendar for May 7th, because
May 7th, the
that's the next one. So if you
yeah.
if you're gonna be introducing it to your following in a like a post or anything, that would be a good
Mm-hmm.
day to kind of set it up.
Yeah, that's definitely super. Is a definitely a cool platform to check out. Yeah. Okay, I'm looking at the clock. We don't have that much time left, so I think I'm gonna have to wrap it up.
Okay, yeah, no
Um,
worries.
yeah. Before we wrap it up, I just want to quickly talk about your last release because I feel like we haven't gone too much into depth into any of your recent releases. So Doubt Me
Yeah,
was your last release. You wanna kind of talk about the process of that song being made?
for sure, man. Yeah, so shout out to Mark Goebel,
Mm-hmm.
producer in the UK, who's on the beat. Other than the
Mm-hmm.
beat, I do everything. I did everything myself for that. So I wrote the song, performed the song, did the mix and master myself.
Mm-hmm.
Doubt Me is just like a true underdog story. Like I say it in the lyrics. It's just about, when you get knocked down, you got to get back up. And just creating that
Mm-hmm.
memorable hook and that feeling, like, if anything that comes your way, like you could face it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wanted it to be like a grimy, really underground type of vibe. And I think if you've seen the music video, you'd be able to understand where I'm coming from with that. Um, but yeah, like that's probably like my when I look back at my last few releases, I think I'm really the most proud of Doubt Me, because
Mm-hmm.
it's really, it sticks to the roots of just the hardcore, the rap vibe, and the bars. And for me, like when I was first, the first MCs that I ever listened to were like Nas, Eminem, just like true spitters, and you know legends of the game. And I'd really focus on versatility as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
Running is kind of like more of a feel good track. Doubt Me is more of a rapidy rap track. But when it comes down to it, I just love spitting bars, and that's what Doubt Me is about. But yeah, so it's streaming now on all platforms.
Mm-hmm.
The music videos on YouTube. I think a lot of people are digging that one. But yeah, at PATS Music everywhere for the music, and
Yeah.
super pumped with how it turned out.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to listen to the track right before ending off the show. So before I completely outro it, we're going to go ahead and give a listen to Doubt Me by Pats.
It's Pat's music. Let's go. You fall down, gotta get back up. Gotta get back up. Keep pushing. You fall down, gotta get back up. Gotta get back up. Keep pushing. Don't let them see you struggle. Don't let them knock the hustle. You got a big mouth, boy. I think you need a muzzle. You wanna cause trouble, keep barking. I don't miss, boy, you messing with the marksman. Smooth flows got me feeling like a silk rug. Putting on for my city like I'm Slim Thug. Like, yo, Houston, we have a little problem. Any problem I can solve them, dissolve them, resolve them. I'm super duper immaculate, wordplay spectacular with the widest vernacular. Wider than your girl, so don't push me. Off the ledge I fall, I'm crashing like it's Adderall. I gotta get to the top like a high fade. Gotta keep working till I'm paid with the blank checks. Groupie sex, gotta stay wrapped and protected. The name's Pats, better learn to respect it. You couldn't project this upward trajectory. I'm spitting heat rocks like the angels protecting me. This weaponry that I carry is legendary, so plan to get buried and pop like a motherfucker cherry. You fall down, gotta get back up. Gotta get back up, keep pushing. You fall down, gotta get back up. Gotta get back up, keep pushing. Don't let them see you struggle, don't let them knock the hustle. You got a big mouth, boy, I think you need a muzzle. You wanna cause trouble, keep barking. I don't miss, boy, you messing with the marksman. When it comes to hip-hop, you know I'm chosen. These other rappers sink to the bottom like erosion. It's almost been a year since the kid dropped Horizons. Now my fans unified like Rise of the Lycans. This an underdog story like Remember the Titans. I'm striking down my opposition like Zeus, empowering the youth. The truth is, you can do what you wanna do. No, I can't. This life we have is limitless, no Bradley Coupe. I'ma rap till they valley the coop, rally the troops. Get the scoop on Pats, I'm too rad. I can't breathe, haters squashing my gonads. It's so sad to see talent go to waste. So I'm here to spit this verse, that's the worst case Ontario. I'm on a quest with my tribe, what's the scenario? Whole school flow with my hat brim low. You fall down, gotta get back up. Gotta get back up, keep pushing. You fall down, gotta get back up. Gotta get back up, keep pushing. Don't let them see you struggle, don't let them knock the hustle. You got a big mouth, boy, I think you need a muzzle. You wanna cause trouble, keep barking. I don't miss, boy, you messing with the marksman. It's just a message for everybody doubting me. I'm never gonna stop.
This week we'll be ending off the show by listening to Breakfast by Hallelujah, one of our very own. Super excited to play this track. We worked a very long amount of time, almost a year on this track. Me and Hallelujah are the ones that teamed up to produce this track. Super fun to make. Can't wait to premiere it over here on VibeCheck. It's been a long time in the waiting. Let's get right to it. Breakfast by Hallelujah Hailu. Available on all platforms. Her debut EP, Greetings and Salutations. Available now on all platforms. Let's get right to it.
Something, I'm nothing at all. Who brought the skins? I'm ready to fall in. Go show some skin. What's the worst that could happen?
Look, I'm not running away. I'm still here for you.